This is college football at its absolute best.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne.
I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
I love it, baby.
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. McGrath for the win. He got it. If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Sunday, March 17th, and brackets are ready to be busted if they haven't been already. I mean, the games haven't even played, and the way this week's played out for a lot of teams, it might already be gone. And that's the fun of it. That's the appeal. That's the draw. And as much as this week has sucked for Tennessee, I'm fired up. Hello from Knoxville, Carlos.
I just love hearing all the stories about people that don't even watch any basketball and their brackets are doing better than mine. It makes me feel like I don't know anything about it.
Well, it's not that you don't know anything, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it just, yeah, true. And like dogs are picking stuff when like a corgi at the top of the steps is hitting a beach ball into a trash can, and you know
that corgi's NFL record like a year ago was insane.
Oh yeah, so I don't feel as bad about that one as somebody that don't watch basketball, but it does kind of think like, what is the point? I mean, I'm gonna fill out like 10 of them, but at the end of the day, like, what's the point?
See, I've gotten away from filling out so many. I'll probably fill out like 4 total, and only because I'd probably just fill out 1, but I fill out different groups of people that I kind of like do these things with. So I'll fill out probably 4, but it's not like in high school where I used to fill out I join random groups on ESPN. Like I don't do that anymore. On top of the groups that I join, where I mean, I probably filled out like 20, some years. Never got one even close to being.
Yeah, I think I just get bored like up until the games where like I'm like, what can I do? I guess I could fill out another bracket, and maybe change this game where I end up kind of having around the same people that I had in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, well, and you almost need to, but you just change those few like 12 and 5. You got to get the 12 and 5 upset, right? Yeah. Apparently now every year there's probably gonna be a 15/2 or a 16/1 upset. That might just be the new norm. But yeah, it's the beauty of it. And it's gonna be a lot of fun, and we're gonna talk about Tennessee's loss in Nashville on Friday. Woof. We don't have to. I'll leave it at this. This is my fault. I'll take this one on the chin. I said if you're not gonna win the championship, just lose the first day, and they took that incredibly serious. They took that piece of advice there was no chance in that game. And so I guess credit to them for listening to me. We'll see how much I know ball here next Thursday and Saturday.
Well, we do know some ball because we were very clear Tennessee needs to have a good first half. Otherwise, it's tough to come back. And they went and scored 19 points. And then the second half was a little better offensively, but you let them score 37. So they scored more than you in the second half. It was just horrible. And I'm glad I had some work that I had to do, was not able to watch the game. But, I mean, the first text I saw was like, what the hell was that?
I wish I had you not been like you had to FaceTime me immediately just to see your face when you saw the box score.
I mean, it's unreal. I have not went back and watched the game.
Don't do it because you'll be so irate.
But, like, I mean, you can tell like what happened. We couldn't shoot. Mm-hmm. It was ugly basketball. We got pushed around in the paint, and Dalton Connect didn't have a good day. And your 2 veterans, again, we might know a little bit of ball. Your 2 veterans in Josiah Jordan James, Santiago Vescovi were irrelevant. I mean, they didn't even have to show up because, I mean, they really didn't. 4
Yeah,
points out of those two, that's embarrassing.
it was a tough go for pretty much everybody on the old Tennessee roster on Friday.
If you don't make a Final Four that game, who cares?
Well, I mean, that's the big thing is you can make it to where the last two games where you've just crapped the bed do not matter. But you got to win. And I mean, I won't even, I mean, yeah, right now I'd love to say Final Four and you forget about it. I mean, you make a run. I'll tell you this. I like the draw we've gotten.
I do too. Yeah.
Which, I mean, we talked about, I haven't really got to sit down and look at it, but just get your thoughts real quick. Just on the kind of looking at it as it unfolded, I think the East is the hardest with the number 1 overall seed. I think I think that is going to be an incredibly tough division.
Yeah. I think the South is pretty difficult as well. When you're looking at Iowa State and Kentucky.
Iowa State got shafted. Of course they did. Tournaments don't matter.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like ours. I mean, I think Creighton's a good team. Here's the thing. Whoever you play in the Sweet 16 is going to be a good team. But I like the Texas, Colorado State. Is that who it is?
Yeah. I was going to say Colorado's another play. They're just all playing games up in that state because Colorado's the Boise State play-in. That's right.
Okay.
It's Colorado State, Texas is the play-in in ours. Or Colorado State UVA is the play-in ours.
UVA?
Side.
Virginia?
Am I wrong? Yeah, it's UVA.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
That's kind of tough, I guess. I mean, I know they're not great, but
they're not great this year.
Historically, they are a good program.
Yeah. Also, the first 16 over 1 loss, so
yeah,
take everything with a grain of salt there.
And here's something to look at too. When you're looking at Purdue, like I think the only team that scares me in the whole field that I'm like, man, that's going to be a tough team for us to beat is UConn. Like that's the clear cut, like number 1 best team I think in the country. Everything else, the team that I'm scared of the most is our own. Like it seems like we're getting in our own way.
I said it today when we were talking about how good this team can play versus how bad this team can play. I'm like, this team could win a national championship. They could also play so bad one night that they shut down the entire program. It's the difference in what you have in one team is incredibly drastic. I think before this weekend, before what Tennessee did at Mississippi State, I would have said Florida's probably the team with the biggest gap, highest ceiling versus lowest floor. Like what they do night in, night out is crazy. But now I think it's very obviously Tennessee.
Yeah.
Also,
I like our draw.
Should Florida have lost which they finally lost today? Should they have lost every single game they played in this weekend and somehow won 2 of them? Or 3 of them, excuse me, right? Yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, 3 of them.
You said they should have
lost them. Like, right? Like they were, I mean, they almost, I don't know how they beat Georgia. I didn't watch that entire game.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I watched probably 30, 35 minutes of it, and I would have guaranteed you Florida lost that game. They're just a weird team. Credit to them. They find ways to win. They get another big win over Alabama, but they're just like they're a low ceiling or a low floor, high ceiling team as well.
Mm-hmm. This is a good comment on it. Big O says, don't we always run into Purdue? If you're running into Purdue, that's an Elite Eight. So I mean, if history repeats itself, maybe you lose that game, but getting to an Elite Eight and having the potential to go to a Final Four.
Well, hold on. I mean, Rick Barnes would have lost in March again, which we won't hear the end of. Yeah. So pump the brakes on that one, Landon.
I do think, like, I'm going to be heartbroken either way, but doubt has crept in a little bit, would you say?
Yeah.
Just like,
I just
don't know what to expect anymore. Like, we're on that heater of a run. You have that Kentucky game. Like, okay, whatever. Regular season title was already clinched. They always get you once, rivalry, whatever. And then the Mississippi State was just like, it's one thing to lose to that team, but the way it happened everybody's like, well, what the heck do we do now?
Which I will say, I'm not blaming. Both teams had to play with the balls, but we always shoot poor, so poor when we go to these random tournaments and play with Wilson Evos. Can we please play home games with Wilson Evos? You know what you're going to play with in the only games that matter. The only games you're judged on. You know which ball you're going to play with. And we always shoot poor with them. Can we please just use them during the year? Nike, if you want to embrace your brand, if you want to promote your brand, a team playing late into March is a good way to do that. Let them play with Wilsons if they want to play with Wilsons.
Yeah.
It makes me so sad. It makes me so sad.
Yeah.
The moment we get into March, I'm like, yep, they put the Wilsons on the rack. I'm like, yep, Tom.
I mean, the 19 in the first half of this box score looks, I mean, that's abysmal. I mean, that's, again, like I didn't watch the first half, but that's a reason to turn off the game. I'd say that's a reason, like, you see those people, like, just rip their TVs off the wall. That 19 points in the first half. In 20 minutes of basketball, he scored 19 points. Rip the damn thing off the wall.
I said that. We were sitting there watching it at work. I was like, I wish I had, like, the power, I wish I could destroy this TV right now.
Yeah. Gosh. Brutal. Just a brutal weekend all the way around being a Tennessee fan. It's not fun. Today, like, Devin, after Friday happened, and then Saturday with baseball, Sunday with baseball, somebody asked me, they're like, that sucks. And I'm like, yeah, like, I'm blaming my dad. I'm a Tennessee fan because of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I
was like, oh gosh, what did Tracy do this time? That's fair. Yeah, that's 100% fair. I want to talk about this comment here from Devin. I watched the video Caleb Calhoun posted on Friday after a basketball game. He thinks they tanked on purpose. Not that Barnes told them not to try or to do that, but told them not to try hard for any 50-50 balls. The little I know about Rick Barnes, I don't know him personally. I don't know him intimately. I can't imagine he would say that to a team. If any team that is in their minds thinks they may want to go to a Final Four, make a big run in March, maybe try to win a championship, if they go out in a game and in any game and think to themselves, we don't need to try hard for this game, they're not going to make a deep March run.
Yeah.
I hope that they just got their brains beat in. Not that they didn't try hard for 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's the thing that comes out like after a national championship. You're like, yeah, we didn't even try in that game. But like there's no way that is real. No way.
They can say that to themselves. Competitors that compete the way you do to win championships, they never think that.
Yeah. I mean,
so they can say that to themselves. If you win the Natty, you can say that to yourself, but it's no way it's true. There's no way it's true.
No.
Now you can if you want to say this team was unfocused because they were looking ahead to the tournament. If you want to say this team was unfocused because they knew the game didn't matter, that's a totally different animal.
Yeah.
And that probably looks like it was the case. Mississippi State was ready to come in and compete harder than Tennessee was. They outworked them. They outclassed them. They outplayed them. But if that's a true story, which I'll say it, it's not. I'll eat my words if I'm wrong. It's not.
No.
Then they weren't going to win anything. So
and
mail it in now.
I feel like, I mean, it's so absurd. Like that's loser mentality. Oh, we didn't try because of that. That's a cop out.
It's a big loser mentality. Yeah. Like I said, you cannot win with that mentality.
No. And it's not like you didn't have anything to play for. Like you were, there was a championship, like, there was a banner to be hung if you were to win the SEC tournament championship. There was a one seed. There was a team that you were playing that day that already beat you in the season. So to get that revenge game, it had to have meant something.
Yeah. And when I said, I don't mean don't try. When I said if you're going to lose on Friday. I just meant don't waste the effort, not the effort, but don't waste like the energy getting to Sunday and losing.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, I mean, winning Friday, Saturday, or Sunday you wouldn't have gotten a 1 seed because of what you did through Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, why even show up if you're not even gonna?
Which I would have loved if Rick Barnes had said, "We're not even getting on the bus to Nashville. You said this doesn't matter. Why do we go?"
I would have been.
I would have loved that.
That would have been a lot better than this.
Been showing up and not playing, literally not trying, not playing.
Yeah. I said this last night. I think I could shoot nothing but half court shots for 20 minutes and score more than 19 points.
That's fair. So you got to make what? 9 threes? 8 threes? You make 8 threes. 7 threes. I can't get 7 threes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could do that.
Yeah. I mean,
how many attempts do you get? You get 20 minutes to do it?
I'm turning the page on this because I'm tired of looking at this 19. It's just I mean, the score above it is a lot bigger, but that 19 in the first half, I mean, that's our Achilles heel. A lot of people want to say like it's an elite big man. No, it's the first half. The first half is going to tell you a lot about what's going to happen the rest of the game. And if Tennessee comes out slow and just not being able to hit those first couple shots, it's going to be a rough one.
Oof. Yeah.
Buckle up.
Yep. I mean, also credits Tennessee for, again, why I'm like, there's no way they didn't try in this game. They did get it back to within 8 pretty late in the game. It was just too little too late and wasn't it. And Tennessee, I mean, Rick Barnes is right in terms of like, it is too late to try, like to go through the motions of fixing things, to start to fix things. Like the next time you put the ball in the court, it's either fixed or it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, watching that game, I don't really know what to tell you to fix. So,
I mean, if you were going to tell me that Tolu Smith was going to have 8 points and Tennessee was going to lose by almost 20, I mean, I would have bet you a lot of money that wasn't going to happen.
That's fair.
Also, they did not take my advice and Meshack the crap out of Josh Hubbard. They did. Also, who is this Matthews guy that we just learned about?
He did go 3 for 8 from 3. So it's not like he didn't go nuclear. Like, I mean, I think it goes to your point of the same thing with Tolu Smith. He didn't go nuclear and beat you.
No.
Yeah,
this Cameron Matthews. I mean, he goes 7 for 7. Who's this guy? I mean, I'm an idiot, and I was like, you keep Josh Hubbard for a minimum, and you have a good game against Tolu Smith. You win that game, and you lost by almost 20.
And then we had to freaking watch Bruce Pearl and Steve Pearl apparently win a championship, and cut himself into every camera shot he possibly could. Every time it panned to the sideline with Bruce, Steven was just right over his shoulder. It's like, don't forget about me. I'm coaching this team.
Has he tried to market Janai Broome as SEC Player of the Year?
I do like that. Yeah, probably. I do like that. Apparently, Stephen Pearl was yelling at Greg Sankey in the middle of the game across the court.
About what? Just yelling?
I think the officiating, which I did get. I like. Speaking of breaking your TV, Tom Hart and Jimmy Dykes were on the call. I think they do great. Like, I love when they have Tennessee games. Love it. But it went to a timeout and they were reviewing something, and they started shilling for Pat Adams, talking about how good he is and how good of a job he does and controls games. And I'm like, so you were told to say that?
Yeah.
I have a backbone. I'm not saying to trash Pat Adams. You can't on the broadcast as a announcer, but you don't have to shill for him either.
No. If you're truly a great official, no one knows who you are.
Correct.
No one knows. Unless you do something absurd like have high knees.
Right. And I love, I mean, I retweet him all the time. I forget his name all the time.
Yeah.
He's not that he doesn't stand out to me all the time.
He just shows up on my timeline with his high knees.
You're welcome. You're welcome for doing that. Teddy
Valentine, Pat Adams. Those two guys, I mean, I guess
Pat Adams also can't control the game. The more he tries to rein it in, it gets out of control because people get frustrated with whatever he's doing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So no, he cannot control a game. He does the opposite.
Yep.
He those people that they have like the crazy dogs, but they make the dogs worse because they just yank on their leash, or they yell at them and makes them anxious. That's what Pat Adams does in games.
Yeah.
He thinks he's controlling them more by doing that, but just makes it way worse.
Also, what happened to Tobe Awaka? I did see a lot of
I think he
stuff
might
like
have
that
gotten
with Matt.
concussed. I think he might have gotten concussed early in the game. Landon, I'm not joking. He took an inbound and he was getting defended in the strangest way. I will credit him that. He took off like he was going to go to the other basket. I think he would have made it across court if Mississippi State hadn't trapped him from doing so. It was the strange. I was get him out of the game, get him looked at, because he did something after that too that I was like, there's got to be something medically wrong with him with what he just did.
Yeah,
It was wild.
They absolutely destroyed us in free throws and points in the paint. Absolutely destroyed us. And Tobe Awaka only played 10 minutes. I mean, if you're getting destroyed in the paint, unless something's seriously wrong, there's no reason why Tobe Awaka shouldn't play more than 10 minutes. And like I said,
his
unless
10 minutes, that might have been the worst 10 minutes of any Tennessee basketball player this year. I'm not
that's what I've heard. And I'm like, dude.
Yeah. So when you say something must have seriously been wrong, something was seriously wrong. I don't know what was happening with him.
That's insane.
It was a Tobe Awaka I've never seen before. Yeah, it was tough. It was a tough watch.
But I'm ready to move on from this. It's March. Clean slate, new season. Everybody's 0-0. Except for St. Peter's.
I mean,
you're next on the list. I love, like, it puts me a little bit on edge because, you know, they do have the history. They beat Kentucky as a 15 seed. I get it. But, I mean, if we beat St. Peter's, what is Kentucky ever going to say to us? I would absolutely hate if we lose this game, so we can just – I love just having that over them and being able to tweet just that ugly bird that they have as their mascot at any Kentucky fan when they say something. But you just get past them, I think we're rolling. We just need to win again. We just need to remember what that feels like. In a team that St. Peter's, they don't have just a insane white guy that with a mustache and a crazy haircut that is going to drop like 25 on us that I know of. They're the 5 seed in their conference. They end up winning the conference championship. I think they won the first game by 2, the second game by 2, and then they won the championship by 5. So really close. Again, was not on their way to make a tournament until they won the conference championship.
Well, speaking of teams that weren't on their way to the NCAA tournament, I don't even know if we can classify this as March Madness. Did you see the ending of the Kent State-Akron game?
Maybe.
Kent State would have been in they would have won their championship and been in the NCAA tournament. They hit a bucket, 4.5 seconds left to go up 1. Kent State player fouls Akron on the inbound. They go to the free throw line, shoot 2, and win.
Jesus.
I mean, and the coach just has a meltdown. And how can you not? Because they were not getting in if they didn't win that game. I doubt Akron would have, but they had 23 wins. So I don't know where they stood within everything, but yeah, Kent State. I don't know who that kid is. I'm sure he's feeling awful right now, but it was hilarious. It was funny to watch.
Dang.
Yeah.
Also, how bad do you feel about this? God, who was it? I have a screenshot. Now that we're on this is going to be a most important. But the Long Beach State coach.
Yes, yeah. What is his name? I need him to win a national championship now. I need him. Oh
my gosh! I mean, just hey, we're going to let you go. We're going to let you finish out the season. It's probably just going to be one more game anyway. And they went and won their conference championship.
Yep.
I mean, it's unreal. Dan Monson.
That's
He's
awesome.
been there for 17 years.
Wow.
Fired him, and then he clinches their first NCAA bid since 2012.
Okay, speaking of teams like that, first off, yes, I need Long Beach State to win it. Second off, Nebraska basketball, they haven't been to the NCAA tournament. I had to fact check this. They haven't been in the NCAA tournament since 2016. You know how many games in their program history they've won in March? or in the NCAA tournament, excuse me.
How many?
History of their program, 0. They've never won an NCAA tournament game.
Oh no.
That's wild to me.
And they play A&M, don't they?
Yeah. Oh, and that was funny. They all got excited, and one guy tried to keep clapping, but they were all like, "Oh, well, fun while it lasted."
Wade Taylor.
I mean, I know they're not historically a good basketball program or anything, but
Yeah,
you think somewhere along the lines, a school that big wins one, right?
Yeah.
One game. I'm not talking about a championship. They
You
win
just get
one
lucky.
game.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah, at
St.
some
Peter's. It happened with them.
St. Peter's has what, 6 times the March Madness wins they have now?
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, that was a wild stat that got dropped during the drawing. Also, if you're a Pardon My Take fan, you have the Pardon My Take just bracket. You have Wisconsin and James Madison, Big Cat and PFT's alma maters. Then you have Hank Lockwood's alma mater and Duke. And then Jake called games for Vermont. I'm not exactly sure how that connection happened, but because he didn't go to Vermont, but he called games for Vermont.
Interesting.
Yeah. You think that was done on purpose? Because I kind of think so. That's pretty wild. That's a wild stat.
And then the Ziegler brothers playing.
Yes, I didn't know that until you tweeted it out.
Yeah. His brother's a freshman, averages about 6 points per game. He's a 6'4" guard. I'm like, how? I mean, I love Zakai being 5'9".
We'll call him 5'9". It's listed. It's listed. We'll call him 5'9".
Yeah. And then his freshman brother's 6'4". It's like, okay. Yeah, I think that's going to be interesting, going to be fun to see. I don't know how much his brother plays. I assume some. He's averaging 6 points per game, but probably isn't a starter for him. So, yeah, I wonder. I doubt Zakai probably guards a 6'4" guard, but maybe.
I mean, he does it. He has to all the time. I mean, not 6'4", but,
yeah,
not his height.
Yeah, exactly. He's used to it. Oh,
we also.
How much
I'm not
smack
saying
talking, if it's your brother, how much smack talking are you talking in that game?
all game. All game. Here's the thing, though. It's got to be weird to have your teammates if they get into it with them. You know.
Yeah, it's like
It's one of those. It's like it's my. It's like I know who I back up, but at the same time, you're like, that is my brother, guys. Like, let's calm it down a little bit.
Yeah. It would be funny if his brother came up to him like before the game and just did like the height thing to him.
Probably will. Probably already texted him about it.
Yeah.
At
least he'd have a reason to, not like Alabama who had no reason to and just got cooked. But
yeah. Hey, also in our region, it would take quite a bit. It'd be Elite 8 if it happened, but you could play Will Wade.
Okay. And then you'll have the Texas story again with Rick Barnes. If Texas wins their first round, Tennessee wins their first round.
Could play Carolina in the Sweet 16.
Okay. Oh, it's South Carolina.
Yeah, sorry.
Gotcha.
South Carolina. And then, of course, you'll always have the Purdue storyline. Then you have the Gonzaga, apparently Rick Barnes' best friend, in Mark Few.
Yeah, I thought they were on their way to not making the tournament. Guess they found it.
I feel like by mid-February they were.
Yeah, it kind of helps with the name and
I was about to say
just their confidence.
Their 5 seed's got to be the lowest seed in
a while. Yeah,
8 years. It was weird.
Usually after non-conference, they usually don't lose until
St. Mary's is good this year.
Yeah,
they're good. That for those.
They're also a 5.
That's who won their conference. Huh?
They're
also
a
5
seed. I think St. Mary's
maybe.
is. Yeah, they played Grand Canyon.
Yeah. Did you see what happened in the end of that Grand Canyon? Who were they playing? Crap. I can't remember who they played. Did you see what happened at the end of their game, though? Guy goes up for a late dunk, and on the inbound, the opposing player just takes it and chucks it at the guy that dunked the ball.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
You love to see it. Little gamesmanship here.
Mm-hmm.
For all you Philly people, shout out Joey. Duquesne Dukes. They made it in. They won their conference tournament. Got in.
Yeah, who did they beat in there? They had to beat somebody that was.
I've seen. I can't. Yeah, I've seen so many games. I was like, I need to try to remember who's won.
Everything's kind of running together. It's
Oh,
really going to
everything's-
run together in the next
Yeah, everything
Thursday,
has run
Friday.
together. If you can keep track of who's won every final, like credit to you. Good Lord.
Dude, I thought they were going to put us in that South region with Kentucky.
I knew there was no. Once Kentucky got in, I was like, there's no way they do that.
Yeah. And then Florida was a 7 seed. I was like, okay, yeah, there's zero chance.
Yeah.
Which, what about Purdue going down to Wisconsin? Can we talk about how stupid it is to like even watch a game with Zach Edey playing?
Just the absurd fouls that get called.
Yeah, I think it was like Zach Edey had like 19 free throws in that game, and Wisconsin as a whole had 9. It's like, what in the world?
Of course that happened.
And they lost, which is hilarious. And I think it's got to make you feel like a little bit better that Houston got whooped on Saturday. North Carolina got beat by NC State. Purdue lost to Wisconsin. DJ Burns. Shout out. Yeah, VFL for sure. Yeah, you just had a lot of those. I mean, you had 3 of the 4 1 seeds go down to teams that they should be pretty handily on paper. So I don't even know if we beat NC State and lose that next game, I don't think we're a 1 seed. Anyway.
Right. Duquesne beat VCU, by the way.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, I agree. I don't think you're gonna be a 1 seed no matter what happened this week. Also, though, Auburn got shafted, man. We knew it didn't matter, but not only do they have to go and they're a 4 seed in the number 1 region, they also have to play Yale at the start.
Yeah.
And then they're probably going to play, which they were last year. I don't know. I know they're solid this year, but I don't know how good. They get to play a Final Four team if they make it to the round of 32.
Also, Tennessee might be the champion of champions. They beat the ACC champion, the Big Ten champion, and the there's one more. Who was it? There's another one in there. I can't remember who it was.
We haven't played Iowa State this year, have we? No. It wasn't Oregon. Who was it? Somebody help us out.
Oh, the SEC champion or the SEC tournament champion?
That would be it. Yeah,
okay.
That would be it.
And
the SEC is the correct answer.
I was like, something is off.
Yeah. Champions. I like that. It's a good one. Bring on whatever division St. Peter's is in. Bring that champion on next.
I don't love that we could end up playing Virginia. Like if we have a bad shooting day, like that game could end like 30-30.
That does require them to have a good shooting day, which they haven't done a whole lot of this year. So that's the good news. But they are live by the 3, die by the 3. I'm
just saying like how slow they play. Like it could be the final score could be like 35-37.
It could, yeah.
If we shoot bad.
Yeah. Which that's no, I'm not gonna go back to that game. Never mind. Must stop myself. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm good. I mean, obviously have a lot of thoughts on this bracket, but I mean, we could be here all night. I do like our draw though. I do. I mean, any division or any region is going to be tough, no matter what. But they all have their different levels of toughness or reasons for toughness. But I like it.
Akron did end up making
we'll see how it unfolds because they won the championship on that play.
Oh, okay, that's right. Okay, gotcha. So
that's what I'm saying is Akron may have made it in as an at-large, but Kent State needed to win it to get in.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's,
1,000%.
I'm like looking at Tennessee's like the Midwest bracket. I do like we're playing in Charlotte. I did look up tickets.
How much are they?
I think for the whole thing is like $400. Like for the
So
whole, like all the sessions. I didn't know exactly
Did you
what
look at
sessions
Thursday
it
or
was
Saturday?
for. That was for all of them, I think.
Oh, the whole weekend?
Yeah, $400, something like that.
For all sessions? That's not bad.
No, it's not. I
It's a lot of
tried to
basketball
look at
to
like
me.
one session and it was like $200. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Which maybe it does make sense because they're just trying to get you to buy all of it, and
Yeah.
you spend up 400 instead of 200. So,
Right.
but yeah, Kansas.
I'm
not
keeping
afraid
Saturday open. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, I like the draw. I do. I don't think it's any worse than anybody else's.
No, it is again another wild conference championships do not matter. Iowa State playing in the number 1 region is hilarious too.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me they at least couldn't have been, in the West or something? They couldn't have gone against the last 1 seed in, really?
I mean, Houston scored like what 37 points in that game. I don't think they should be a 1 seed because of that.
I think that's a fair rebuttal. I would argue Tennessee's performance though is not worthy of a 2 seed. I would argue that.
That's probably true. But I mean, we scored 56. They scored, was it 36 points? 37?
30 something.
Okay, 41.
41. Nope, it wasn't 30 something.
41.
It was in the 30s.
God, 41 is abysmal.
It's not ideal, certainly. Yeah.
They had a worse second half than we had first half. They had 18 points in the second half. Incredible. It's great stuff.
I don't know. I think it's incredibly dumb that you're giving out auto bids. In the meantime, the rest of the tournament, like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I think that's wild. I think it's one of those things, like, if it can't hurt the other teams, I don't think they should be even allowed to play in it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like teams like Tennessee, Auburn, Alabama, Kentucky, they're not going to get booted. They weren't going to be on the cut line. They weren't going to be the last or the first 4 out or anything. So why do we allow them to compete for it if they can only eliminate teams? They can't be eliminated themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was really hoping Missouri was going to be in it, but they'd rather go 0-19 in the conference.
They're here for the comedic factor.
Yeah, they got a little trip to Nashville out of it, so glad they.
Which is bad for people from Missouri at this moment, but yeah, they did.
Yeah, hope they enjoyed it. So give me one team that's not a 1 seed, maybe not a 1 or 2 seed that you're like, they have a chance to win a national championship.
Oh, to win a natty?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'll tell you teams I'm excited for in like the first round. Can we do that?
Yeah, sure.
James Madison, go Dukes.
Okay.
I don't think they do it because I think Bruce Pearl has built a team that can just run in March and are like 8 deep. If Yale wasn't going against Auburn, I'd say Yale. Grand Canyon, except they are playing St. Mary's. I gave you 2 12s already. That's unfair, I feel.
Some guy said Sanford's beating Kansas. I'm like, I mean,
No,
maybe. Kansas would have. I mean, is Hunter Dickinson back? I know he didn't play, and they just got demolished in the. What were you saying?
We're not judging teams though by conference tournaments. We're not doing that.
That's
not happening.
That's true.
McNeese State. They have a tough draw. I know it's a 12 seed. I said I wasn't gonna do that anymore, but I jokingly mentioned Will Wade. McNeese State is good.
I like the New Mexico, the Lobos.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could beat Clemson.
They were credited as a team to look out for. I think the opposite game of that too. I've heard some about Colgate. I don't know where they stand exactly, but I feel like Baylor is a high ceiling, low floor team too. I do feel good that I think if there's a 2 seed that's going to be upset, it's probably Arizona.
Yeah, they're kind of all over the place too.
And then
Long
you have a
Beach
coach
State?
that's on the
Yeah.
verge of getting fired.
dude, he's got
Literally,
nothing to
like
lose.
it's not will he get fired. It's like he is gone. This is his last game. There's some factors.
Yeah, he's
Talk about
trying to get him
madness.
another job, an even
Yeah.
better job, probably.
Right.
Like he might get a buyout and get a better job out of it.
I think you win it all and go out on top, brother. Don't ever coach don't ever coach basketball again. Grandkids ask you to coach their rec team. Nope, I'm out. I said I was done.
I think Auburn, like it's going to be really tough to knock off UConn, but Auburn's a team. I don't like Auburn, but I do think they are a team that is capable of probably winning a championship that isn't that 1 to 2 seeds.
I agree with that. They are. I think what their challenge is for anyone in that region is that night in, night out, that region's tough. I mean, you also have Illinois in there who just won the Big Ten championship that looks as good as any team this year right now.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you don't know what you're going to get Thursday or Friday whenever they play first. You see what shows up.
What happens if FAU goes on another run? Because if they beat Northwestern, they're going to play UConn the second round. And that was a team who was a top 20 preseason team, and they just weren't good.
The crappiest 1 seed draw of all time.
Yeah. And Illinois is another really good team in that region. Washington State is. Yeah, it's tough.
Iowa State's in that region. We mentioned them before, but just to say it again, like that's good luck, guys.
You know what kind of sucks? Teams like Grambling, like win their like conference championship. They're like, yeah, we're in. And you have to play it. You have to play a game to actually get into the field.
Yeah, I don't know how they award the auto bids. I think it should either be all those low schools have to do play-in games or none of them do.
Yeah.
It's either an auto bid or it's not an auto bid. You figure it out. I think it's dumb that, like, why do the 16 seeds not play auto bids? You have exactly 4 of them.
Yeah. I think we should have
again, is it an auto bid or is it not an auto bid?
I think we should have a 64 team tournament and the winner gets the last game in. They're the last team in. Yeah.
64 team playing tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And then the real tournament starts in April.
Yep.
You get a month off. The other 63 teams get a month off.
I mean,
Missouri still is yet to win a game in this scenario.
They weren't even invited to any of the other tournaments that they have that no one watches.
Right. What's the NIT? Have you seen the field? When do they release that?
I don't know.
The NIT doesn't get enough love, and it was the OG, man.
Yeah. I want to see who were the teams that got snubbed.
St. John's has told the NIT not to invite them. Shout out to Rick Pitino.
Dang, that's like, I think that's 2 Sundays in a row. Rick Pitino has been mentioned on the show before.
What did we do last Sunday?
I asked Steve Hamer about Rick Pitino.
Yeah, that was last Thursday. But yeah, you're right.
Oh, was it?
You did. Yeah, it's okay. I just don't want people to think on the Lord's Day that I'm mentioning Rick Pitino just willy nilly. I don't want to have that on me. I don't know when they announce it. I want to see if I was the NIT and a school said that to me, I would invite them so much harder.
You would what?
Invite them so much harder. I'd be like, no, you are invited. Oh my gosh, it doesn't start until 9:30 p.m. They expect people to stay up for that?
No.
What? Get out of here, NIT. Oh my gosh. Absolutely not.
So St. John's was one that was mentioned. Seton Hall was another. Pitt. I saw the Pitt. A lot of people were up in arms about Pitt, and I think it was Seth Greenberg or somebody like that was just like, well, their strength of schedule, like non-conference, is like 333rd in the country. I was like, okay, yeah, just go ahead and cross them off the list.
According to the bracket, I guess the committee is how this is reading. The first 4 out were Oklahoma, Seton Hall, Indiana State, and Pitt.
Dang.
So St. John's wasn't even in that.
Indiana State, that's tough. No
I know.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I know. We should have rioted for that.
No,
they should.
No Kim English either. Providence didn't get in.
Yeah. A team that like Indiana State that they're gonna get a lot of social media clicks, they have to be at least a playing game. You gotta have something exciting in Dayton. You think anybody can get up for Boise State, Colorado? Get out of here.
Yeah, that's brutal. I'm looking at the Providence right now. They had 6 quad 1 wins and no bad losses. They had wins
6
over
quad
Creighton.
wins?
Yeah, they had wins over Creighton, Marquette, and Wisconsin. And no loss was worse than a quad 2 loss. They were just in the Big East. Yikes.
I like this question when I Googled who are the first 4 out this year. Someone said, what does last 4 in and first 4 out mean? I'm like, listen, I'm in someone there's no dumb questions kind of person, but like that's a really dumb. It's pretty self-explanatory. Because he or she says ESPN always shows this graphic during the selection show, and it's always confused me. How does this play into the tournament? So you have the context. If you didn't have context, sure, but you have the context. I feel like you should know.
Yeah. It also just kind of tells you.
Also, someone said the last 4 in play in Dayton. That's not true because some of them are auto bids. Unless you mean chronologically, then yeah, sure.
All right. Who are you picking to win it? You don't have to it doesn't have to be your person that you pick in your bracket if you make it later on. But right now,
yeah, I haven't made one yet.
But who
also, I think real quick, I think I'm gonna start drawing out my bracket and what I think's gonna happen. But I think in terms of my ESPN bracket, the one I put online to win $1 million,
mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna wait till after Tuesday or Wednesday. 20th Wednesday, right? Yeah, because they don't matter. You don't have to use those first 4 in the playing games.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna wait just to kind of tell you how I'm gonna strategically fill up my bracket this year.
Okay. Just so it could be one of those first 4 games. You're picking the winner out of those 4.
No. I'm just not gonna get my bracket busted on games that don't matter, is what I'm saying. Because I'd probably get all 4 wrong with my luck.
Well, it has you pick it'll have you pick the winner, I guess, of that. If you were to select them, I think you would just pick.
Correct.
So you could be better off. It could be just if you actually pick them to win a game, you get a better chance because you've picked Virginia or Colorado State.
I don't think you necessarily have a better chance because it would still be 50% in that next game. But I don't think they let you select Virginia or Colorado to go to the Sweet 16, for example. I think you'd have to pick a game at that point. I could be wrong, but
I think it lets you. It does Virginia / Colorado State. So I guess
then maybe it's because we fill them out manually. And one year, one of my nieces put one of the play-in games going to the Final Four, and they lost in the first game.
Yeah. If you're just selecting it online, I think it does it like a slash. Yeah.
But I don't think that gives you any better odds, statistically speaking.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, if you were going to pick Virginia to beat Texas, you're probably going to beat Colorado State to beat Texas too.
Sure. Yeah. I wish Houston hadn't really crapped the bed.
Yeah, I think it would be hard not to select UConn, honestly.
It's hard not to select UConn. I think they've consistently played the best. They've shown, though, that they can, just like any team this year, can take their lumps and get beat pretty handedly. I wouldn't be surprised, though, going into the UConn thing. I also wouldn't be surprised, with similar to what you said earlier, if Auburn makes the Final Four.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be entirely shocked, though, if Iowa State made the Final Four either.
Yeah, they're a good team. I think Marquette's another good team.
Marquette right now, but
But they're in that South where anybody could probably win because there's a lot of good teams in it.
there's recency bias to not loving Houston at the moment, but I think Marquette's probably the team that gets out in that region right now.
Okay. I'll say this:
NC State's hot.
I like our draw because I don't like the FAU having the potential to play FAU again. I don't love that. I don't love like playing Texas A&M again or Mississippi State or TCU or Utah State. Like I feel like Virginia, Texas, Colorado State, whoever it is, I like that matchup better than some of those 8-9 matchups. So, yeah, I think it'd be hard to not select UConn. I think North Carolina is a team that could probably win it too. Like they are pretty deep and they have a really good guard in RJ Davis, a good big and Baycott. I don't know, man. It's tough. And I think we probably say this every year that it's tough, but it seems like it's tougher this year than it has been.
I think this year it seems like it seems like it's stronger 1 through 64. And a lot of that has to do, I think, with it's not as top heavy. There isn't as good as UConn been, and I think they are clearly the number one, no questions asked. I think it's more so because 3, 4, 5, 6 have been just not great. I think UConn's still a team that could lose it on any other night, but I also think that they are the clear number one. But I don't think they're head and shoulders. I couldn't happily pick UConn right now because I don't think they're just head and shoulders above the field.
Yeah.
I think 1 through 64, if you want to call it 68, pretty good. Pretty good. I'm excited, man.
Dude, we do play at 9:20. Good God.
They've already put it out?
That's what it says on here. 9:20 on TNT.
On
Thursday night.
Dude, I gotta go to work on Friday. Like, come on. We're on the East Coast. What happened to playing games in the middle of the day?
Oh, my God.
I'd rather play. I hate everything. I can't stand anybody.
It's tough. That sucks. Well, I mean, we're playing a late one. I mean, we're on the East Coast. We're playing in Charlotte, and we're playing freaking 9:20.
I would like to know the last time we played a late game was FAU. Well, we didn't play that late, and I could not sleep that night. I literally stayed up. I don't think I slept a wink. I stayed up all night just being depressed.
If we lose that game, there's going to be a lot of people that don't make it to work the next day. HR is going to be like insane for every company. If you're in HR, good luck to you if that happens. I don't envy you at all.
So yeah, where did you see the times?
I have it on ESPN. I have the NCAA bracket, and I can.
All I can see right now are the first 4 times. Oh, okay.
I think it just updated.
This says 7:15. Okay, it doesn't have. It just says date and time at 7:15. I just try. I mean, when I tried refreshing it, it didn't, and then so I googled times, and they said it hadn't been announced yet. They normally do announce it tonight. I just hadn't seen them.
Lady Vols are a 6 seed.
There we go.
In Raleigh. So both teams are playing in North Carolina. But yeah, go beat St. Peter's.
Speaking of Lady Vols and all that, someone put Kelly Harper on the hot seat. Fair. But also someone after Friday put Rick Barnes on the hot seat.
Okay.
Can we lose a game and not be idiots? Like, that's all I ask. Okay, yeah, it does look like it's refreshed now that I came back to this page. And yep, there are the game times.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this St. Peter's, they're scoring 65.3 points per game. That's 399th in the country.
I think they were relatively this not good when they beat Kentucky too.
They probably were. They lost 2 games to end the regular season. They lost one to how do you say this? Quinnipiac? Is that right?
Quinnipiac, I think.
Quinnipiac? Okay.
Quinnipiac, I think.
Yeah, they lost to them by 15 to end the regular season. Then they beat Rotter by 2. They won that 50-48. They beat Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac? I feel like I'm
Well, now that you say it, I'm like, maybe it's not. Like, you may be saying it right. Quinnipiac, I think. I don't think there's like an extra.
okay.
Yeah.
Because there's like a Quinnipiac. It's Piac, right? Quinnipiac.
Oh, yes. Quinnipiac. Yep. Quinnipiac.
Yeah. That's a stupid.
See if we can
name.
get a.
It's a stupid.
Quinnipiac. Yep. Quinnipiac.
Quinnipiac. Okay. They beat them 62-60 in the semifinals of the conference title, and then beat Fairfield in the championship 68-63. So they're playing good ball, I guess, at the right time, I guess. But, dude, I mean, points per
Part
game,
of it, man.
65.3. I mean, the way we defend, they shouldn't score 35 points, if we're being honest.
Right. Let's hope it's that kind of day. Sorry, other Ziegler. I hope you're very sad.
Yeah,
the end of it.
let's win the Ziegler Bowl. I'm in.
I'm excited. This is gonna be a fun week, fun March. I'm fired up. Let's make it a fun April. Yeah, I'm pumped, man.
Fired up. Guys,
Let me tell you all about something. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Go
Are
ahead.
you ready for baseball?
No, you're in. Go ahead.
But are you ready for baseball?
Yeah.
Or do you have anything else for basketball?
Mm-mm.
All right, I won't get ahead of myself.
You're good. You're good.
I will be getting ahead of myself later tonight, though, because I'll be prepping my coffee in the morning. So I don't have to do that in the morning because I'm lazy. So let me tell you guys, grade A grounds, that's what I'm prepping with. I've told you many times. I hope you believe me. I hope you trusted me. I would never lead you astray. Guys, go check out Grade A Grounds right now. Head on over to their website. Get an order going. You are not going to be disappointed. Grade A Grounds, they're a local coffee roasting company owned by 2 educators in Johnson City. For that reason, they also want to support local education. They do that by donating 5% of all their sales to a local nonprofit called Coalition for Kids. So you're getting great coffee. You're helping the community. Win, 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 as Michael Scott would say. Go check out Grade A Grounds right now. If you need an even farther recommendation, B is for Blueberry is my personal favorite, so hop on that. Go check out Grade A Grounds. We appreciate them. We're excited to partner with them. Shout out to Grade A Grounds.
Shout out. All right, yeah, baseball. It's tough. It's tough. Here's the silver lining, I guess, that everybody lost on the road. This weekend, LSU lost, Texas A&M lost, South Carolina lost, Georgia lost. So, I mean, it was tough for opposing teams in the SEC because I feel like a lot of these weekends were your first weekend on the road. It just stinks that you came out the way you did on Friday night and then just kind of, you had a tough rubber match today that just maybe left a pitcher in too long, made a mistake. The issue I have with that is not a lot of people are like, oh, Tony does this all the time. And I'm not an expert on when you should take pitchers out or not. I do know that there was a hit batter. They came out and talked to him, and then the next guy barreled one up and hit it right to a outfielder.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like many people, I'm an expert in when you take the pitcher out, and it's usually, you see him get shelled and lose a game, and you're like, yeah, I'll take him out then.
Yeah. I mean, and then their best hitter comes up. I feel like that's probably when I make a change. It's probably just, he's seen this guy 3 times already. Let's get somebody else in, throw him off a little bit, and, made a mistake and made you pay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If you pop him up,
it's a different story.
Yeah. So it sucks. Sucks that it had to happen that way. I mean, you had chances with the bases loaded when your best hitter strikes out.
I think that's the story of the game, personally, more so than pitching, because did he throw a strike?
No, you got to have a better at bat than that with 2
Yeah.
outs.
Yeah. I think that's the story.
And like, he didn't throw really anything to Dreiling either. And he ended up walking Dreiling. Now Tiers did strike out, but he did get a runner across. You know, they threw a pitch in the dirt. He took, and they got a run from that. But
and even that last at bat, you may not even win or even extend the game, but give it don't leave.
You got to find a way to put it in play somehow, or at least give yourself a chance. Like
get one more run, like you may have gotten.
Yeah, make sure he's throwing you a strike. You know, don't just go up there hacking at 3 straight pitches. Like, be smart about it. So yeah, just tough. And then Saturday, I mean, a lot of those, they just jumped on you every game. Was an issue. You got hit in the mouth pretty much every single game.
Right.
You're down 6-0, then the third kind of settle in. You just didn't have the offense to really come back in that game. But too many errors that cost you runs to kind of keep it out of reach in those first 3 innings. You know, you had one where, I mean, we had too many where we're just throwing it past the cutoff man and into the side of the bleachers, like, or the side of the wall. Like, you can't have those mental fielding errors.
Yeah, it was just not a clean showing, I think would be the way to say it.
Yeah. And we're kind of struggling fielding the baseball a little bit. We're bobbling a lot. It's just not smooth. So I don't know what exactly that is. But yeah, just didn't look smooth all the way around. You know, had some chances with bases loaded and didn't take advantage enough. And, you know, you do lose that first series of the year to an Alabama team that I think you're probably better than. You did get to see A.J. Russell back this weekend. It just sucks that you weren't really able to capitalize. And, you know, if you win Saturday, I don't even know if you see A.J. Russell. Maybe you do. But, you know, I think they wanted to get him some innings in to get him back. And, you know, it just sucks that he couldn't go longer. And Nate Snead, I thought, pitched well, but was kind of like on edge all game, where it's like, okay, are they going to take him out? And then he'd come back. He'd, you know, give up some hits, maybe walk some people, get out of it. And then, like, he was always kind of just like on that line of like, you know, is this going to get ugly in this inning, or, you know, we going to find a way? And, you know, he's kind of just teetering a little bit until it costs you in the 8th there.
Yeah, it's
also, I don't think Dylan Dreiling's ball has landed from Friday.
Friday was a fun one, and how it ended, you know, obviously, and then a win's gonna always make it more fun. But I
think this weekend Dylan Dreiling was your best player all weekend long. I mean, he was unreal. Got the one on Friday. I think he hit a home run on Saturday too. And then, you know, you have bases loaded, no outs. You have a pop-up to the first baseman, and you have a strikeout. And you're like, oh, God. I mean, we're not going to get anything out of it. And he, I think, clears the bases with I think it ended up being a double, and then he advanced to third. But just a huge hit in the gap to give Tennessee a lead, but you give it up with a freaking ding-dong. This is just tough.
Yeah, it was we didn't want it to start out last year, and I guess it didn't start out like last year, but it also, you know, we kind of meant like do the opposite of last year, not just do better. But that is the good news, is like there's no reason to hit the panic button right now. Also, I mean, I don't think Alabama will end up looking as good as they look right now, but they also were rolling at the moment too. So you kind of ran into a really good team as well.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is like I thought we shelled their ace. Like, we did what exactly we got into their bullpen early, made them use guys, and, you know, just couldn't get anything going on Saturday, and didn't have enough on Sunday to get you over the hump. It just sings. I mean, Drew Beam, it probably wasn't his best performance in those first couple innings, but you kept him in, and he, 6 runs with this lineup, I feel like it is probably good enough to get you a win or at least get you close to one.
Right.
Tennessee just didn't have the offense and was like, I mean, I have the stats in front of me right here of what Tennessee was on Saturday. 3 for 19 with runners on and 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position on Saturday. This is a rough one. Yeah. But that's all I got for baseball. You got Xavier in the midweek, Ole Miss at home this coming week. Ole Miss did get the best of South Carolina. I think they lost the Sunday game, so they didn't get the sweep, but they did win at home. So, yeah, going to be get back to work. And, there's no kind of catch your breath in the SEC. You got to find your way and do it pretty quick before you get too far behind.
Yeah, I mentioned that. You got 9 weeks of fun baseball for fans that aren't cheering for any teams, but you got 9 weeks of just anxiety for the rest of us.
Sure. Absolutely. Man, when Dylan Dreiling swung at one of those pitches today, I mean, he went down to his knee. I was like, oh man, if he got a hold of that,
he wants it. He definitely wanted it.
If anybody's going to hit one out like a 9-iron, it's going to be Dylan Dreiling, like he did against Vanderbilt. So I thought it was going. Thought it was happening. All right. I do have a friend to tell you about also. Do you have anything for baseball before I move on?
No. Just to make sure you check out the Bathroom tomorrow night at 7 p.m. They're going to dive a little bit deeper on this weekend, and I'm sure you guys can't wait.
Sure. Yeah, it's going to be – that's one thing is like days like this where you're just talking about really nothing. But luckily we have March Madness and the selection show. But, I mean, these are games where it's like, why do I do a podcast?
And it's like you want to talk about other stuff, but you're like, I mean, I guess I have to because we're a Tennessee brand. But because I've got some. I told you I had a proposal for Thursday since we don't want to talk about it. I didn't even get to that. So if you want to hear about my proposal for time standards, we can. You just tell me. Okay. But yeah, you're like, why can't I just do a podcast where I talk about absolutely? We relatively get into nothing, but just absolutely nothing.
Yeah. It was not looking forward to this one, but we're on our way to getting it done. Guys, go check out our good friends at Knoxville Tours. It is never too early to think about football season. Tennessee takes on Oklahoma this season in Norman to welcome them to the SEC. Our good friends at Knoxville Tours have a great 5-day tour September 19th to the 23rd that takes all the stress off of you when booking and planning an away trip. The trip on the Motor Coach Tour will take you from Tennessee to Oklahoma for the game and some fun stops along the way. The trip will include transportation to and from Oklahoma, 4 nights, hotel accommodations, a dinner show at Cattleman's. So please go cheer on the Vols in the Midwest. They will also be doing tours to Arkansas and Vanderbilt through football season. Give Knoxville Tours a call today at 865-688-6232 to book your tour and let them know more important issues sent you.
Do it. Tell them more important issues sent you. Have we figured out what Cattleman's is yet, by the way? Because it sounds so exciting, but I want
to. I think we just book the tour and go.
Yeah, I mean, but like, I want to sell Cattleman's because it sounds awesome.
It's a steakhouse.
Okay. Kind of sounded like dinner and a show, which really fired me up. Oh, I mean, it is a steakhouse, brother. I'm in.
You're in?
I'm in.
I mean, it didn't take much to convince you.
Just a quick Google right there. That's it.
Oh, yeah. It looks like a little Alamo action there.
When's the last time you ate at the Alamo?
I have. It just looks like the building kind of looks like the Alamo.
Oh, okay. Oh, not the Alamo restaurant. Okay. The actual Alamo. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. I thought you meant the Alamo in Cerebral. When you said that.
Okay, the one in El Paso looks like the Alamo, which makes sense. The one in Oklahoma City does not look like the Alamo. All right, I'm going to get off this because I have no clue what I'm trying to.
I haven't eaten dinner yet either.
Yeah, need to eat.
Dangerous.
All right, I don't think we got any questions. Oh, we do have a question. Oh, dang it. Realistically, how far do you see Tennessee going? You're putting money on it. This is how far they go. Gun to your head. What are you saying?
Round of 32.
Dang.
Just because of what I watched on Friday. If I don't see that performance, I'm probably telling you the bracket they're in, the side they're playing. I'm telling you that team's probably playing minimum Sweet 16, if not Elite 8.
Yeah.
Minimum, like that. That's I think probably minimum. You could probably say Elite 8 the way they were playing the final 4 games of the season, and I wasn't holding Kentucky against them. So but I see the performance you put in Friday, and I know not exactly an elimination game for you, but at the end of the day, an elimination game.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I think Sweet 16 probably. Gun to my head, that's kind of what I mean. Kind of like you were saying, like Tennessee does have the capability to win a national championship when they play like it, but I think what we've seen the past 2 games, like I have no clue what we're going to get. 0 clue.
Yeah.
Because these last 2 games, you haven't gotten the best out of Dalton Connect. And we've seen games where it's been all Dalton Connect and nobody else. So,
Right.
I mean, if he's struggling and no one else is, Santi and Josiah aren't helping you out, I think round of 32 might be even generous. Yeah.
I hate that. I hate that. And again, it's some recency bias, and I hope that Caleb Calhoun, whoever the hell that is, got that one right. But I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't know how much you know about basketball, Caleb.
I know more than Blake.
Yeah, exactly. All right, most important.
Most important. Let's see what I've collected this week. I know I had that fail, that Akron Kent State fail. Sorry to throw Akron's name on it like that, but I have another fail too. Let's see. I mean, most important is probably, again, the Long Beach coach. Thank you for looking up his name, but I've already forgotten it. But that guy, that's just incredible that's a thing.
Was it Don Maromes? Or
that sounds right. I hate that my most important is Kirby, but I want to hear this. I want you to hear this real quick.
Not do revenue sharing where the players get their piece, and we quit asking the fans to pay for the product. And so I think that's something we have to explore moving forward. Otherwise, it's not sustainable. We're going to lose the greatest game in the United States of America. And I'll come back to why it's the greatest game, which actually I'll say it right now. It's because we give everybody in the country a chance to associate themselves with something that they're connected to. The problem with the NFL is it's 32 major cities. Okay. It is a great business.
So sorry, I meant Eli Drinkwitz. Not Kirby Smart. I hate them both. But anyways, Eli Drinkwitz, I don't disagree with him. Like you're gonna have to assess. We talked about how the NCAA won't get ahead of things. You're going to have to assess revenue sharing at some point.
Yeah.
And you also get into a landscape where once they're employees, so you want to keep other sports alive, right? Other sports have to be quote unquote fair. If you get into revenue sharing and they're employees, though, Title IX no longer applies. You just can't hire on the basis of discrimination. So you're not talking about a football team funding other sports. Does that hurt other sports? Sure. But those other sports existed also long before football was making $1 billion a year.
Yeah.
You also have basketball. This tournament alone, in March, the NCAA is going to make over $1 billion just from TV rights. You're telling me we can't pay these basketball players that participate in it? I'm not stupid, but maybe I am, if that's true. It would blow my mind, and I'm sure they're not. if the NCAA and these athletic departments, which we know they are, because Tennessee started something they've pulled from other programs that are doing it, kind of they're setting aside like a fund and a program already kind of looking into this. But you should be preparing for the future. Preparing for the future right now means preparing for revenue share. That's the only way this sport's going to be sustainable.
Yeah, I like the idea. I don't know how it will work out with every sport kind of like you're saying.
It won't. You'll see other sports go away. Or not go away, but be less funded. But again,
Well,
if you put on the back of fans, though, right now you have a let's say a donor who they've been supporting swimming and diving along with their football or basketball donation. Well, now they're being asked to also fund the players themselves. They can't sustain that.
Yeah.
But if they can continue to support the football program alone and not the players themselves, they can probably continue to support swimming and diving.
So what does that do to NIL?
I mean, it still makes it possible, just like in the NFL, how you can get paid for your name, image, and likeness.
Okay. I didn't know if that would.
They couldn't still tell you can't have your outside deals.
Okay. So would they go back to not being associated?
Not associated with what?
Like right now, it's like you're having coaches like endorse the collective, whereas
no, I think you can
before,
still
like,
hold those collectives. Revenue sharing is essentially too. It awards the best teams. If you're gonna pay players, you're gonna pay for if you make it to the playoff. Well, that cut of that revenue that you made for being in that playoff is going to go to you.
Yeah.
The cut of ticket sales is going to go to you. Like the reason we're all there, Nick Saban. I know that's going to shock you that 100,000 people don't show up to watch you play, but it's I think it's first off, all these people that are against it are probably for capitalism, but yet for college athletes, all of a sudden capitalism doesn't matter. They can't benefit on what they're good at and what they've built. But I also think you get into where they're employees, you also can fix the transfer portal pretty quick too. Because you can have contracts and you can have non-competes and you can have.
I like that. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. And from what I understand, it feels like it's a long ways away.
Right. You're not doing it next year, but you need to be preparing for it.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that.
Just like you should have been preparing for NIL when you first started getting sued for NIL because you knew it was coming down the pipe.
Sure. I'm going to go. Was that your most important?
Yeah, unfortunately. Just because Kirby. Or not Kirby, I said it again. Eli Drinkowitz.
It's really been a down episode when Eli Drinkowitz is the most important.
Yeah.
That's funny. I'm going to go Karen Weekly for mine. Lady Vols softball just swept Missouri, and then Karen Weekly quote tweeted and said, "Stood on business."
Love it.
Oh, yeah. We can throw shade, too. Also, when Karen Weekly said it, it wasn't as cringe as when Eli Drinkowitz said it. So, Eli Drinkowitz, you were most important. You were also part of a fail. So, good for you.
You get a fail. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always comes back. All right. The rest of what I've got is fails. So,
Okay.
if you got any most important.
I did have the Long Beach. It was Dan Munson. Dan Munson.
I was about to say, I knew it was close to Dan Mullen, which is unfortunate, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a fail or most important, but as it stood after Tennessee lost Alabama, 7 SEC series this week, and the visiting team didn't win a single one.
Tough.
Yeah.
Like I said, 9 weeks of just anxiety-filled baseball for most SEC fans.
Mm-hmm.
Or anger-filled, one or the other.
Yeah.
You pick. Any more most important?
I don't. No.
All right, let me hit you with some of these fails.
Okay.
So there's an article about I can't remember the name of the school, but it was a junior college in South Carolina where the first openly gay men's basketball coach was the head coach. So I read the article. This little like paragraph gets dropped in and glossed over. And I just feel like it's a way more serious thing to just gloss over it. But I'll just read this paragraph to you. It says the only instance of discomfort came when he met an older prospective donor who was gay for lunch. The man badgered Lynch to go swimming in the pool with the suggestion that what happens in the backyard stays there. Lynch declined. I told him if you're interested in donating, great. He said I haven't talked to him since. Like, wait a minute. This guy was sexually harassed by a donor, and we're just gonna gloss over that part of the story.
What happens in the backyard stays in the backyard.
Yep, I listen.
Actually, I'm kind of all for that because, as you know, not to toot my own horn, but I do have a pool in my backyard, and not like to that like sexual harassment, but I feel like a lot of what goes on back there probably shouldn't be like.
What are you doing in your backyard that I don't know about? But better question, what are you doing in the backyard that the entire high school doesn't know about? Because it does back up right to a high school.
So I'm not doing anything like that. It's just like
so you don't support the situation.
Grown men playing football or basketball in the pool.
You support the motto.
Yeah. Yeah, not what he was doing, not the way he went about it. Also, maybe peeing behind my building is probably not the best when you're right next to a school either, but
it is that is like
let's be outside. Okay,
to be fair, that is a fence covers that entire spot. To be fair,
yeah.
Any fails from you?
I don't think I have any more.
Okay. My last one is an Alabama fan on Twitter tweeted, Florida player has a season-ending injury. Coach crying, audience stunned, and Auburn comes out in full press. Says a lot about Bruce Pearl. Listen, I'm the first person to hate on Bruce Pearl when given the chance. More so Stephen Pearl. But, I mean, it is a basketball game. What do you want to do? Let him score?
Yeah.
Just let the guy next time before he gets carted off, let the kid with the broken leg shoot one more shot, okay?
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Like, what are you thinking there? I like that someone tweeted, your team murdered someone. Sit this one out.
Dang. I do have a fail, actually. It's a buddy of ours.
Okay.
So a little story time. Our buddy Wes is a good-looking bald dude. And he has a little mole on his forehead. Well, he shaved, got a little bit too close to it, shaved a huge part of his mole off.
You did that on purpose, but I know the pain of. I hate shaving my head because it sucks to do because I'm always worried I'm gonna cut it. So I know that pain.
Yeah,
I have cut it before.
This is also like. It's funny because when we were in high school, he had senior pictures done, and his mom, or he got his pictures back, and they like cropped out of his mole, and his mom called to have his mole put back on his head.
That's a tough scene right there.
Yeah. Yeah, yesterday.
Also, what about? I didn't think those photographers gave a crap. Now they're editing moles out of people.
I guess.
Good Lord. Oh, I don't have anything else. That's all I've got.
Cool.
Whew.
All right, guys. Well, thank y'all for listening. Also, go check out Rowback. Caleb's got the state polo on. Dude, it looks good. It looks good.
Thanks, man. Not that the other one isn't comfortable. This one just feels bad. Maybe because it's new to me. I don't know, but
yeah, it looks good. Awesome. Yeah, doesn't wrinkle.
No
Guys,
wrinkle.
go check out Rowback. 20% off your first purchase using promo code More Important Issues. Go check them out today. Y'all have a good week. We'll be back on Thursday. Oh, we play Thursday at 9:20. We'll get a full show in.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess it kind of works out. Kind of sucks, but it kind of works out. So we'll be back on Thursday, and we're bringing the boat in, and we out.